Good morning, everybody. 9 a.m. on this Tuesday, 78 degrees, and you can start to feel the mugginess if you've stepped outside. I'm joining Lauren Maroney up on the roof right now. Patrick's got the day off. You can really start to feel the stickiness in the air, the humidity starting to build a little bit more so than yesterday. The breeze is nice, though. I'm having a Marilyn Monroe moment with the dress here, so we're going to keep this down, but the breeze should help mitigate some of the uncomfortable weather that we're going to be starting to feel today, huh?
Yeah, the only thing worse than a hot and humid day is a hot and humid day with no wind.
True.
Because then you really feel the air on you. Part of why in the winter when we talk about wind chill so much, it's because we tend to have like an insulating layer of warmth around us that keeps us warm. The wind blows that away, which is terrible in the winter, but in the summer, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Because we will take anything we can get when it comes to feeling a little bit of relief from some of that heat.
True. And you were saying that the temps really aren't going to be all that much different than yesterday, but with the humidity, as they always say, it's not the heat, it's the humidity, and that's what the issue is going to be today, right?
Yeah, actually, so I was looking at the hourly temperatures, and it didn't look like we had quite hit the upper 80s. We were around like 86, but one of our inter-hour highs was 88, so that goes down as our high for the day, and that is what we're forecasting to be the high today. But today, now we're getting those dew points into the 70s, not just nearing 70, in the 70s. And once you're in the 70s, like, that's tropical, that's uncomfortable, that's pretty terrible.
Patrick and I have talked about this before, though. The scale that you have, and I'm sure you'll show it at some point, with the measuring the humidity, it's not your scale or Patrick's scale, but it's, you know, the National Weather Service or whatever scale, but it goes oppressive and then tropical, and it's like, well, tropical sounds so nice. Oppressive sounds awful, but tropical, oh, it's like tropical humidity. No, that's bad.
No, it is bad. That is why I do like to use tropical, because I feel like you hear that and it's like, oh, it's like a vacation.
Right.
That'll be so nice. So that's why I use tropical, but no, that's
it's all
pretty
just
awful.
Wishful thinking, right?
Yeah, no, there are sometimes where like we'll check the dew point in like, you know, the Amazon rainforest, and it's like, oh no, that's what we have right now.
Yes, welcome to the Amazon in Western New York. I will go downstairs. I'll leave you to talk about the tropical forecast that we have, not just today, but the next couple days.
Of course, yeah, the tropical forecast. Yeah, that's a little preview of your 7-day. But right now, I'm just going to talk about the average summer highs, because today is certainly going to be an above average day. This is our last day of June. We're just about to start July. So we do have those temperatures. Average summer highs are getting into the upper 70s. Eventually they will be in the 80s for averages. And speaking of averages for the month of June, it was a very split month. We started out pretty warm. That second week brought us that humidity, that uncomfortableness. But then the past 2 weeks have been really nice, especially if you like more spring-like temperatures. Those highs staying generally in the low 70s. But then the past few days we've really started to crank up the heat again. And hot and humid really are the 2 days that are going to be describing what our forecast is going to be for the rest of this week. It is going to be mostly sunny. We have the sunshine right now. Most of us are dry. We did see those showers coming through Orleans County. Those will clear out pretty soon. But we're really not tracking anything with respect to significant showers or storms until Saturday. But Saturday, yes, unfortunately, that is going to be the 4th of July. I'm not going to say anything too much about timing just yet. Models aren't totally agreeing on that, so stay tuned as we continue to fine-tune that. But one thing we are certain about is that heat. So we do have a weather impact alert through at least Thursday for those temperatures approaching 90 degrees, and of course those feels-like temperatures getting into the mid-90s, even pushing the upper 90s, nearing those triple digits. So during peak heating, you want to limit time outside and definitely hydrate, because those high temperatures in the upper 80s are going to be quite uncomfortable even through Friday. We don't even get much relief until Saturday, but even Saturday, that is still well above average. And you notice those heat index values for the next several days are going to be well into the 90s. So we're just not getting relief because this is such persistent heat officially. 80 degrees right now in Buffalo, that dew point just shy of 70, but we do have that southwesterly wind that is helping to keep us at least a little bit better when that that wind does blow. It does feel pretty nice, but 80 degrees, we are already above average at just 9 a.m. And those dew points are not just high in Buffalo, they are high everywhere. We're seeing a lot of 70s across Niagara and Orleans counties throughout the southern tier, especially in areas like Dunkirk and Jamestown. And that is just going to be the story of the day. Already by noontime, it is going to be feeling like the 90s. By 3 p.m., it is going to be feeling like the mid and upper 90s with a good amount of sunshine. With that sunshine, our UV index is going to be around 9. That is very high. We can burn in as little as 15 minutes with a UV index that high, so definitely want to have that sunscreen. And we are going to continue to see mostly sunny skies over the next several days. And yeah, you do see those feels like temperatures as well for those days, not comfortable. But yeah, we do have some spotty shower chances, but it's really not until Saturday that we're seeing those significant showers. So I'm showing you this system. It is passing off to our north right now, and you see it is clipping parts of Orleans and Genesee County. We're maybe seeing a few spotty showers in parts of Chautauqua. That's kind of the general precipitation chance that we're going to have over the next several days. Taking a look at future look, you see that system off to our north. That's going to pass by, and then most of the day we're really just in that sunshine and that heat. Again, you see those little blips of green. That's about what we're looking at through most of the day on Wednesday. But you do notice this is midday. As I advance the clock through the evening, Future Look does want to show this system passing through, which could bring some isolated heavy rain. Even a few spotty storms are possible. So definitely want to be aware of that if you were planning on heading out later on Wednesday. It might be a little bit on the damper side. Thursday is looking like a mostly dry day. And then maybe, again, just some of those spotty showers for Friday. It's really not until Saturday that we are tracking that system that is going to come through, bringing those showers and storms. But it is also going to knock down those temperatures, you notice, down to the low 80s. And then even as we proceed into next week, it's really more about those low 80s, even some of us seeing just highs in the upper 70s. So it is these next 3 days where we have that weather impact alert, maybe for some of us even pushing into Friday. But at least, you know, we're going to be dry. But Saturday, unfortunately, for the 4th of July, definitely looks like those showers and storms, Melissa.
Yeah, bad timing for that. All right. Lauren, thank you for that forecast. We'll check back in with you in a little bit later here on Daybreak. And topping our news this morning, we have an update on a story that we first brought you yesterday on Daybreak. A man is recovering after he was shot on Buffalo's west side. We now know more details about it. Police say officers responded just after midnight yesterday to the area of Niagara Street and Bird Avenue, where they found the victim with gunshot wounds to his arm and leg. He was taken to ECMC in serious condition. Anyone with information is asked to call 911 or call the Buffalo Police confidential tip line at 847-2255. A Buffalo man is facing a manslaughter charge in connection with a man's death that happened on May 1st. Police say 37-year-old Charles Williams seriously injured 53-year-old Jason Sorden on Gatchell Street. The victim was taken to the hospital with a brain bleed, and then a few weeks later, he died from his injuries. Police say more than a month later, on June 24th, Williams was arrested. Authorities haven't said anything about a motive. A 20-year-old man is fighting for his life after a dirt bike crash yesterday in the town of Porter. The Niagara County Sheriff's Office says the rider pulled out of a wooded area and into the path of a pickup truck on Braley Road near Youngstown Wilson Road around 10 a.m. When deputies arrived, they found the man laying in the road. They flew him to ECMC with a head injury and broken bones. The crash remains under investigation. 4 city-owned parking ramps have been sold for over $60 million, just beating the deadline one day before the city's fiscal year ends today. The Augsburger, Turner, Adams, and Fernbach ramps were all sold, exceeding the city's sale price expectations when they showed long-term revenue capacity. Revenue generated will help to repay debt and go toward future downtown parking and infrastructure improvements. Former acting mayor Chris Scanlon, now the South District councilman, shared his excitement.
What we talked about when I was acting mayor was, this is going to bring an extremely large amount of money, a shot in the arm to the city of Buffalo. We were responsible, we were conservative while budgeting for it with $40 million, but I stated time and time again, I thought it was going to come in significantly higher than that.
This sale transfers the parking ramps ownership to the Buffalo Parking Authority. A man accused of pulling a knife on a Buffalo deputy mayor, Eugenio Russi, last month will appear in court this morning. 67-year-old William Royal allegedly threatened Deputy Mayor Russi after Russi confronted him about urinating outside a Court Street building. Royal served more than 40 years in prison for murdering a priest in 1979 and was released just last year. Russi was not hurt, and investigators say they did find the knife near the scene. A Buffalo woman charged in a deadly drunk driving crash is due back in court today. 24-year-old Danielle Davis is facing drunk driving charges and vehicular manslaughter charges in the death of 31-year-old Carlos Rodriguez. Prosecutors say Davis hit and killed Rodriguez last October on Broadway near Wick Street. Davis has been out of custody and under probation supervision, and prosecutors and defense attorneys say she is in a treatment program right now. If she is convicted, she faces up to 15 years in prison. The Erie County Water Authority is getting nearly $1 million in federal funding to support the Get the Lead Out initiative. It helps replace lead pipes connecting water mains to homes, and it comes at no cost to homeowners. Swapping out those lines can cost thousands of dollars, but the program allows the authority to replace hundreds at a time, reducing overall costs.
Lead service lines were installed in older parts of our community like Cheektowaga over 80 years ago, as Congressman Kennedy noted, long before people understood the serious health risks they presented.
The project also helps meet new federal requirements that call for all lead service lines to be replaced by 2037. The Erie County Water Authority plans to meet that goal a decade early. The clock is ticking for Niagara Falls property owners who are behind on their taxes. A city spokesperson says as of last night, there's no pause on the city's plan to move forward with foreclosing on properties that have delinquent taxes. This comes after the city issued around 3,000 final notices to homeowners stating their property will face foreclosure if full payments are not made by the end of June. The Niagara Falls City Council approved a resolution to pause those foreclosures and create a repayment plan process for late taxes back on June 17th. One council member tells Two on Your Side that they've done what they can, and now he just hopes the mayor's office will do what it can to help make sure that people can stay in their homes.
We hope the administration works with us to help our homeowners stay in their homes. So to be more flexible, there may be an opportunity where we can work, the city can work with the homeowners to come up with some plan or some methodology to keep them in their homes and to not take it.
The City of Niagara Falls official Facebook page does say that today's tax payment deadline does not trigger an immediate loss of property. It also says taxpayers can still pay their taxes after the deadline, but penalties and interest on them will accrue monthly. Today marks another step in exploring the expansion of nuclear energy in our state. Leaders in the city of Dunkirk plan to hold what's being described as a Nuclear 101 information session. During this meeting, several representatives from the nuclear industry will talk about the potential of transforming the old NRG plant along the Lake Erie shoreline to a nuclear power plant. Senator George Borrello says he'll be closely listening to the pros and cons of nuclear power.
You know, we want to give people the opportunity to listen, ask some questions. We've limited this to elected officials and business owners and the business stakeholders in the area, because we think that they're the ones that are going to need to answer the questions first before we as we move forward with this.
Now, this meeting is not open to the public, but Borrello says he hopes future information sessions will be open to the public. Stay with us. We're going to take a quick break and we'll talk about some Independence Day celebrations in a unique way down at the waterfront. Welcome back, everybody. Joined by Lauren here. You said that you like the warm weather, right?
I do, yeah.
Me too.
I don't want to say this and then get in trouble, but I sometimes actually kind of like the humidity, mostly when it comes to what it does for the mornings, because with humidity, you know, water is resistant to temperature changes. So when it's really humid, it's warmer when you're waking up in the morning. So you get those mild mornings, those mild nights, and I really like that. And I know I'm kind of alone on that.
You are not alone on that. No, I like it warm too. Now, I think that, you know, a feels like temp of near 100 might be a little too much. I think it is for anybody. But yes, I will take the heat. And I was one of those people who was complaining that, you know, the 65s and 70s that we had in May and even a lot of June was just cold for me. Not, Patrick calls it comfortable. I just call it cold. So I'll take this anytime. But if you are looking for a place to maybe get some relief, a lot of people head to the waterfront, whether that's a beach or just canal side, and you'll see a lot of people there today, tomorrow, and Thursday, especially as the heat and the humidity is oppressive. But yeah, Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, many of our inland lakes like Chautauqua and Rushford Lake offer an easy refuge for a lot of folks. But if you don't live in close proximity of those options, you can check out what's in your local municipality. This that we're seeing here is, we just saw the town of Tonawanda. They've got a new splash park that just opened last year. It's a great time right now to sign up for your recreation pass. You can't just show up to a lot of these places without it. Lots of public pools and splash pads throughout municipalities in Western New York. You were just seeing Buffalo Harbor State Park. They have a new splash pad, Royal Park, in the town of Amherst. That's also free and open to anyone. Now, the city of Buffalo has 10 free public splash pads and 6 pools. They are not open today, though. They only will open starting July 1st. That's tomorrow. You do need to sign up for a city pool pass to swim. Everyone in your home or your family needs one. But again, you can reserve 2-hour slots at that Paddock Spray Park. That's open to anyone also. Cheektowaga's got pools. So check the municipalities, check the website, see if you can sign up, see if it's open to anyone. So if you don't have a pool or a friend with a pool, or if you don't have a boat or a friend with a boat, there are a lot of options, and we've got some of them listed on our website, WGRZ.com. And the good news is also the Erie County opened its beaches, which is actually just one beach now. That's Bennett Beach. That opened yesterday. But we've also got Woodlawn State Park, and that's got the beach, Evangola Beach. Grand Island has Beaver Island State Park, so that beach is open, and so you can check those out. And then there's Olcott Beach, which was closed last week to swimming because of high bacteria levels, but that is back open now, and it's open from noon to 7. Are you a beach person or a pool person?
Probably more pool. I'm not big on the beach. I don't like the sand.
Yep.
It makes me very uncomfortable. I'm also just not a big, like, going by the water person, even though, I mean, scientifically the water is a lot better for you. It's cooler, you get that cooling breeze. And you know, when you go in the pool and then your skin is wet, similar to how sweat keeps us cool, then like the water literally removes heat from you and does keep you cool. So there's science behind wanting to go to the beach and the pool.
I love everything that I'm asking you has a scientific answer behind it, and so I'm learning more, pulling back the layers or peeling back the onion of Lauren Maroney. But you and I are both definitely on the same page with that one too, that I'm more of a pool person too. The sand is just a little too much to deal with. And also, if you go to a beach, I hate it when the people next to you have their music blaring. It's like, well, maybe your music is different than my music. So be beach friendly, and at least keep it to a low level, or put on some headphones, coming from a mom or someone who just gets very annoyed by other people.
There you go.
Stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.
The following is sponsored by Cornerstone Community Credit Union.
All right, 4th of July, just a couple days away. I was thinking of going down to Canal Side to find some, you know, festive fireworks and things, and you won't find that on the 4th of July, but you will find a really big rubber duck.
What about a duck? You know,
nothing says the 4th of July.
an America's birthday.
The world's largest rubber duck. Better have like an Uncle Sam hat on it or something.
Yeah, I feel like they'll maybe make it more patriotic. I don't know.
I have no idea, but tell us what we do know
Yes.
about why you want to bring your family to see the duck to celebrate Independence Day.
Well, not only this weekend are they doing all sorts of duck-themed activities. We're talking duck face paint. We're talking they're showing duck-themed movies like The Mighty Ducks.
Okay.
Very fun, very exciting. But they've also found, Visit Buffalo and Erie County have found a way to kind of tie it into, you know, the 4th of July spirit. They're calling it the Quack Quest 250, the Duckleration Trail. So this is video from back when the duck was here back in 2016.
Very popular.
Yes, this was the first time, this will be the first time in 10 years that it has been back. But the Duckleration Trail, this is some video of social media that Visit Buffalo has been posting. It's essentially where you can go around the city of Buffalo, go around our area in Western New York, and visit all sorts of different cultural institutions and historical landmarks. And it gives you the opportunity to visit those places, get a little stamp, learn a little bit maybe about our history and how we tie it into America's 250th birthday, and also just get to see some really cute themed ducks that each kind of go along with the site.
We have a bunch of mini ducks that we've hidden across the city. So this Saturday, July 4th, is the 250th anniversary of our country, and the world's largest duck is coming to Canal Side. So what better way to commemorate it than by a citywide scavenger hunt through some of our most historic locations.
And once you visit 9 of the 10 designated locations and you collect your stamps along the way, you can drop off your completed card at one of the last 2 sites, which are the Central Library and the Naval Park. The first 250 scavengers get a special prize, that commemorative mini duck right there. But supplies are limited, so you have to start quickly. This started yesterday. It goes until July 5th, so you'll have as much time as you want, but you have to beat everybody else. And I already have my card, so I don't know.
And it tells you exactly where you're going.
It does, right on the back.
Make it hard to figure out where you need to go, but list off a couple of the places there.
So a couple of the places are the AKG, obviously the Teddy Roosevelt site, City Hall, the AKG, I already said that, the Darwin Martin House, exploring more, Concordia Cemetery, you can figure out who's buried there, the Buffalo History Museum, and then of course the Naval Park and the Central Library are those last places.
And when you're at the Naval Park, that's where you will find when does the duck come? Or the 2 ducks, because there's Mama Duck and Timmy, correct? The
I
baby.
believe they come together on July 3rd is when the duck festivities begin.
Okay.
At Canal Side.
Okay, and Mama Duck, by the way, is 6 stories tall. You can't really see the scale of her in the video because it's not really surrounded by anything, but she's 6 stories tall, and then Timmy obviously looks like her baby. But as a mom with a kid who's now on summer break, they're already, Elliot's already saying, what are we doing today? What are we doing today? Well, first of all, you're in camp, so, you know, enjoy. But if you are looking for something to do with the kids, or if you're new to the area and there's some of these places that maybe you haven't explored, this is a really great way to get out and about.
And a lot of them are free, too. So that's another thing. Finding free things to do in the summer are especially helpful. Of course, you have the first Fridays at the AKG, which are always, you know, pay as you wish or pay what you can. That's a great opportunity to go and see some art, take the kids, and enjoy that, because that's coming up too.
Right, and there's also like Shakespeare at Delaware Park. That's another free thing that you can do. So kind of get your stamp there as you're at the AKG and do all of these things at the same time. So yes, some ways to celebrate Independence Day by going on your Duckleration Trail.
Yeah.
By the way, if you are thinking of going down to the waterfront to see 4th of July fireworks, it's the 3rd of July downtown at the Outer Harbor. So Canal Side not doing fireworks on 4th of July. However, if you are at Canal Side on the 4th of July, at Salin Field, they're doing the Cosmic Baseball on the 3rd and the 4th, and they'll have fireworks both nights. So if you are out and about downtown, you'll see those fireworks from Salin Field. If you are looking for other fireworks, depending on where you live, we have a QR code that you can scan, or you can go to WGRZ.com, and we've got a whole list of all of the Independence Day celebrations. All right, are we taking a break, or are we gonna go right to this? Oh, we're gonna talk about the baby. Yes, a 14-pound bundle of joy making a grand entrance. A West Seneca couple, Darisha Rodriguez and Dominic Soto, welcomed this baby girl on June 9th at Golisano Children's Hospital. Her name is Yamea. She was born, June 9th. Look at that. 14 pounds, 1 ounce, 23 inches long. Wow. She's twice the weight of an average baby.
Good for her.
Yeah. Most babies are 14 pounds when they're 3 months old. This is so rare. I had to look it up. The CDC says 1 in every 1,000 babies are born at 11 pounds. They don't keep records for 14-pound babies. So then I went and I did Google search of like, when was the last time a 14-pound baby was born? Canada, 2023. Before that, not until 2010. Those are the ones that, you know, came out in the news headlines.
Wow.
So God bless those parents and, well, the mom who did all the work.
Right?
And luckily, no one wants a C-section, but luckily this baby was born via C-section because,
Very good.
well, you don't even want to think what that would feel like to give birth to a 14-pound baby. But Mom and Dad were the ones who shared those pictures with us via email, so we have reached out and hopefully we will be able to chat with them today, see the baby in person and just how big she is at only a couple weeks old.
And hit the gym, get some weights going so you can hold your baby.
Yeah, I know. My sister's dog is about like 14 pounds, and I don't even think I can hold her for that long. I don't know how this mother did that.
Right, and I mean, they had to have known that she was
gonna be
a big baby, but I'm sure everybody's jaw dropped. And the hospital said that they can't remember the last time they had a 14-pound baby. I want to ask the hospital, have you ever had a 14-pound baby? Because they would know that. But yet the CDC and the obstetricians of America, they do not keep records of babies that big.
Can you imagine the shock of hearing them call out the weight? Like 14 pounds.
Right, 14 pounds. Wow. Just insane.
I don't know, I feel like the mom probably would have known.
She's like, yeah, that's right, I've been carrying that.
Yes, so congratulations to that West Seneca couple, and thanks for joining us here on Daybreak, everybody. We'll see you here tomorrow.